Hi friends, it's Mr. Alex from Adams Memorial Library, and I'm back with another installment of our Online Origami Club as a part of our summer reading program. Now, don't forget that you can stop here at the library at either front desk or curbside pickup to get your very own Online Origami Club kit. And in this kit is going to be a variety of origami paper in different colors and patterns that you can use to make the projects that I'm about to show you. Now, for this installment, I thought that we would make an origami lion, and we're going to need just a couple of things to do that. So let me show you what we'll need. We can gather that up and we'll have a roaring good time. So in order to make our origami lion, we're going to need just a couple of things. We'll need our Online Origami Club kit, and this is where we're going to get our final sheet of paper. We're going to need a practice sheet of paper to get really good at making an origami lion, and I like the space paper from last time so much that I decided to get another sheet of it. We're going to need a pair of scissors in case our practice paper isn't a perfect square. So since I'm using this origami paper, I'm okay. But if you have notebook paper, construction paper, or anything else like that at home, then you may want to trim it down. And finally, I have this Sharpie here because we're going to need markers, crayons, or something else to decorate our origami project with because we definitely want to make it extra special and unique. So grab all of that and let's make an origami lion. Now we've got our practice sheet of paper and it's time to begin learning to fold our origami lion. So the first thing that we're going to do, like most of our projects, is we're going to take the pattern side of our paper and we're going to flip it face down onto the table like this, so that that's going to be the outside of our lion. Then we're going to fold our origami paper in half diagonally, just like this. Line it up nice and neat and give it a nice sharp crease, which will then look like this. At this point, we're going to open it back up and we're going to fold this edge here and this edge here into the center line here so that it makes a kite shape. And one thing that you want to be extra careful when you do this is this point back here can be a little bit fragile. So you want to make sure that you're being very gentle as you fold that part of your lion so that it doesn't tear. But once we've got everything all lined up and we've gently made those folds, we're going to have our kite shape that looks like this. Now we do want to keep that on its side a little bit, and we are going to make some additional folds where we're going to fold this part here of our kite back, but we're not going to fold it to this point up here. So I'll show you what that looks like, but the biggest thing when we make these folds is that we're going to make that fold on each side of our kite, and we absolutely need them to be even. If they're not even, the future folds of our project won't line up right, and that's no good. So you want to try to get them as close to each other as you possibly can. So we'll make one fold like this. Make another fold just like this. And we want to make sure that these two folds are pretty similar. So we're going to have a shape that looks like this now. And the way we can check and see if our two folds are exactly the same is that we should be able to fold our project in half. Just like this. And if the two sides of our project meet up pretty well, which these ones do, then we know that we've done our fold correctly. If they don't line up, and it's particularly bad, then we definitely want to undo that last step and we want to refold until they do line up. But if they line up, we can just crease across the bottom and we'll have a shape that looks like this. Now we want to do what's called a pocket fold, where we fold our project on the inside, and we're going to take this side, what's pink on my project, and we're going to fold it straight up. And so that's going to create a shape that looks a little something like this. Just like that. And the way that you'll know this is done correctly is that you'll have a little triangle here on the front and a triangle shape up toward the back here. So this is going to be our lion's face, and all we're going to do is fold our lion's face open like this. So what we've done, let me crease this off and I'll show you. What we've done is we've taken this shape here after we made our pocket fold and just opened it up like that to make our lion's face. Then
we want to fold our paper down to make our lion's head, and we're going to fold it right down the middle. So taking this piece here and folding right down the middle like this. And that's going to give us our lion's mane and our lion's face. Then we want to round off the bottom of our lion's face, so just barely. We're going to tuck the tip of that triangle back up behind the project. You don't want to do it a whole lot because that'll make there be a little bit less of your lion's face showing on the front, but we do want to fold it just enough to round out that bottom edge. So we'll have a shape that looks like this. Now it's time to give our lion a tail, and how we're going to do that is that we're going to fold our lion's tail over like this, give it a nice sharp crease. So we'll have something that looks like this, and then we're going to take and fold the lion's tail back again so that it's aiming downward like that, and then we can fold it one more time. When we fold it the last time, like this, we're actually going to pocket fold the last little bit here inside of itself so that that will round out the edge of our lion's tail, and we'll have something that looks like this. Now, the last step that you may need to do is you may need to readjust so that your lion can stand on its own, and in order to do that, all we're going to do is just take this corner of our lion's head here, and we're going to fold it so that it lines up with the top of our project. And by adjusting that like this, we'll have our lion's head, and our lion should be able to stand pretty well on its own, just like that. Now, at this point, we can decorate our lion. We can give it some facial features like a pair of eyes, a nose, some whiskers, and we can also give it a tail and some other paws and features as well. So I'm not going to do that on mine because the black on my space paper doesn't work particularly well with my black marker, but you can decorate yours however you want and then get practicing to make your final origami lion with the piece of paper out of your Online Origami Club kit.
After some practice and decorating, I took a solid colored sheet of paper out of my Online Origami Club kit, and I made this origami lion here, which I think turned out pretty great. Now, don't forget that if you're participating in our summer reading program on Beanstack, then you're definitely going to want to make sure that you've entered the code word PAPER in order to get credit for being a part of our Online Origami Club. That'll also give you some tickets that you can use toward winning one of our great prize packages. Next, you'll definitely want to send us a picture of your origami lion using our photo release form because that will help you unlock the Summer Reading Shutterbug badge and even more tickets. And finally, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube for all sorts of updates, not only about the Online Origami Club, but also the rest of our summer reading program. As always, happy crafting!